Now that I'm retired and when I enjoy life, I'm paying the price for that. Okay, this is what I'm going to ask about here, the PRP, platelet-rich plasma treatment, 3,000 baht. I just had a blood test done. I'm waiting on the results. I'm in the hospital, so I don't want to talk about it too much. It comes always down to where studies have shown blah, 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 and there is no evidence that this supports this or this supports that for the x-rays and everything else and the 2 cortisone shots. So as far as the thing I'm talking about how self-insure is easy to do in Thailand. Well, good morning, awesome, beautiful people. Chuck here in Khon Kaen, Thailand. Today I am going to go to the Khon Kaen Ram hospital and get my fingers checked out. I have, I guess you could call it arthritis. That sounds like something old people get, and I guess I am old, so just been using my hands too much, I think, in my life. And now that I'm retired and when I enjoy life, I'm paying the price for that. So yeah, anyway, I worked really hard to retire early, and I used my hands. I was a mechanic most of my life. I don't know what happened. I guess the cartilage in between the joints is wore out, basically. I just started playing golf like 6 months ago, maybe. And I guess when you make contact with the ball, it like rattles your joints. I'm going for a walk right now. Hang on 1 second. That's a big condo. So anyway, I went to the hospital here about a month ago, I guess, and had a cortisone shots in my thumbs because I couldn't move my thumbs. And this hand was the worst, and it's like 100% fine. But this one here, I don't know, he didn't do a really good job on the thumb getting the injection in. And then now these 2 fingers here hurting, I think just from playing golf. So maybe I should just stop playing golf. But what else are you gonna do? I think even riding a bike sometimes, I think that's what really irritated my thumbs. So I could just sit on the computer, I guess, and type away like some people do, but that would probably hurt too. You know, I wanted to retire early, like by the time, when I was like 30 years old, all I could think about was, man, I just don't want to be working for somebody my entire life. And, you know, I would love to just travel the world, but I don't have any money, you know? So I did everything I could in my power to try to become successful. But, you know, I went through a divorce. I had 3 kids. Life, you know, life sometimes is difficult, and it's hard to manage it enough to get out of the hole. But you just got to keep going, you know, and keep trying. I was fortunate enough, I guess, to have acquired quite a few skills in my life to start a business and it was successful with me and Paige, you know, at it. We had a very successful business, and it allowed me to get a pretty good amount of money, capital, to retire. And in my mind, I never thought, well, is it going to be enough or this or that? I just thought to myself, well, it's enough to travel and do the things that we want to do. And then if we decide later on we want to come back to America, well, I just come back and I'm still young, you know. I can do whatever I want to do. But it turns out we really still enjoy traveling. And ever since we stopped working, you know, I bought a truck and a travel trailer, and we traveled around the United States. And then when we were done with that, we moved to Thailand. And we really never really said, oh, this is what we're going to do permanently. I think that's where a lot of people are confused on my channel or about my life that I share on the internet is is our lifestyle, you know. We do only what we want to do. Our plan was to never buy a home. I don't know where I'm going. And settle down. If I wanted to buy a home and settle down, I would have just stayed in America. I wouldn't come to Thailand. I started making YouTube videos kind of on a, I don't even know why I did it. I want to make some videos of our traveling in the travel trailer just to show our friends and family and maybe other people that travel around. I needed something to do. Something to keep my mind busy. We moved to Thailand. I think I had 1,200 subscribers, and then they were all like, where the hell is Thailand? Why are you moving to Thailand? And like, why are you moving to China? And they pretty much left. I wouldn't even think about making money on YouTube. I didn't even really realize that was a thing, to be honest with you. I think I made like good morning. How are you?
Yeah.
By
How are you?
By night.
By Senhan.
Sentan, okay. See you again. It's Sunday. I wasn't even thinking about making money on YouTube. And I remember one time when I first made like, I don't know what it was like not even $1. It was like, oh look Paige, I made like 2 cents. Now, she's like, yay. I said it'd be cool if I made like $500 or something a month. And she's like, yeah, right. I was like, well, you know, I wasn't even thinking, but I think when I came here, like maybe a year later, I made my first $100 on YouTube. They only pay out once you reach $100. I don't know what it is now, but I was like, yeah, cool. I made $100, but it all goes into. Me and Paige started the channel in America. So what happens is Google, it's like being self-employed, I guess. It's like a 1099 is what they call it. It goes to our government. And we have anything, I think anything over $400 on self-employment, you have to pay tax. But, you know, not if you're cutting lawns, you know, you still have, you make $400 cutting lawns, you still have gas, you have vehicle expenses to get there, equipment, so you're not really having to pay like whatever the tax rate at $400. It's taxable income with everything. Same here. So now we're doing pretty good. I mean, it's nothing really in the big picture. The money's not that good, but it helps pay for the travel expenses that make the videos, and it's a rewarding thing. This guy just came, I just smacked him in my hand. It's a rewarding thing. He's probably making faces behind me. I should have elbowed him instead. Just kidding. You know, it's rewarding to be able to do that. So after it's all said and done, you know, traveling is not free. So if the government's going to tax me on making money for making videos, well, they're going to have to deduct the cost of what it takes to drive to the location, buy the hotels, the food, the whatever excursions, you know, any of that. So, but anyway, I don't know. I'm just telling you this. You guys, most of you already know. But we still love our freedom. And as I said, if I really wanted 4 walls to stay in, I would have just stayed. We would have stayed back in America. Because what's the sense in coming here if you're not going to travel? In my situation, medical care, hospital care, stuff like that really wasn't in my thinking, because I retired at 46 and I was and I'm still in pretty good shape. It's just all of my muscle went to my stomach now. It's not that bad. Actually, if you meet me, the camera does not do you justice. Everything is a super wide angle, makes you look like a friggin' pumpkin head. But that's okay. I don't mind. It's an interesting place. But the medical care here is amazing. Like, I didn't really spend much time in a hospital back in the States. I come here just to have some checkups and stuff. Hell, I remember my kids, you couldn't even take them to the doctor. It was like a $90 fee just to sit in their stupid chair in the lobby. You know? It's ridiculous. Here, the whole damn bill ain't even that much. Most of the time, 99 bar. Oh shit. I don't know what that was. But I don't know, guys. You know, I don't have a lot to say about why do this or why Thailand has that or why retire here or why move here. I'm just sharing. It's funny, you share your own life, but people still only see things. That's pretty safe. What were they thinking when they put that counter on that? Whatever people hear me say or see, they only interpret it how they think. So it doesn't matter what you say. Somebody's gonna read it the way they see it. So somebody asked me if I'd ever been to the library last night here. I said, well, no, not really. She goes, oh, it's a fun place. And the lady at the restaurant, so it's probably loud. She said, yeah, it's pretty loud. Probably why I've not been here. Let's walk this way. I don't know where the hell I'm at. Temperature's beautiful this morning. I could have a successful YouTube channel. I know how to create content. I know how to go to places that are popular. I could buy a drone. I could do all of these things. I could pretend to be Mr. Happy, Happy, Joy, Joy, Happy, Happy, Joy. You know, just so you would like me. You know, but I don't care that much. And the YouTube thing is just still a fun thing for me to do. And now actually I get to travel a little bit more than I wanted to. I didn't know I wanted to travel. I would want to travel this much. Anyway, you know, you never know until you do it. Maybe I would hate traveling. But with the YouTube, it's like, oh, I can make YouTube videos and travel even more, and I love it. Let me turn the camera around finally, right? But anyway, I mean, I could do a whole successful thing and pretend to be somebody I'm not. But I don't care about all that. Not saying it wouldn't be nice to have 1 million subscribers, because it would be cool anyway. I think anybody who creates something would love to have people love it. You know, an artist would love to have his picture hanging up in an art gallery somewhere. You know, a book writer would love to have his or her book be on the top 10 selling list. You know, and every YouTuber would love to just have that one video that got 1 million views and just make them, you know, a success overnight. I have no idea where the hell I'm at. I remember that. Oh, I'm back in front of, yeah, I know where I'm at. I don't think I've ever seen this bar open. That's the Pullman Hotel here. Sometimes comments bring up topics for me to talk about sometimes. You know, when somebody says something to you it's provocative, like brings up thoughts in real life, at your job. You see something on TV, maybe creates a topic of discussion, stuff like that. If I ever mention like, oh, this comment or this or that, people are like, well, you shouldn't let it bother you, Chuck. Well, if I'm talking about it, what makes you think I'm really bothered about it? I'm just like talking about it. I'm sharing my thoughts out in the open. They're only words on a computer, but it just brings up a topic. Somebody had said, another golfing video by a pensioner. Another boring video of pensioners playing golf. Something to that effect. I think it's a regular viewer. You know, it doesn't bother me, but I'll say back to, first off, I'm not a pensioner. I don't have a pension. I'm too young to even get Social Security. But what my first thought was boring. What are you doing right now? You're watching somebody play golf on either your little phone or your computer or whatever you're doing. Why don't you go outside and do your own shit? Don't sit on the computer worrying about what other people are doing. If you're bored with it, go outside and do something on your own, Or create your own YouTube channel and see if everybody likes all the shit you do. Do that. It's not easy making YouTube videos, and a lot of people that have been watching YouTube videos about Thailand for a while can see that you can only talk about stuff so much, whether it's traveling, taxes, you can only talk about things so much and people just lose interest. For me, I'm only showing my daily activities, so it's not like really a YouTube channel, it's an everyday life channel about living overseas as an expat, basically. That is enough. So a lot of YouTube channels are self-destructive after a while. I don't remember where I was going to go with that. But for me, I share my life on the internet, so in reality, I don't really care what anybody thinks about me, or I just wouldn't do this. I don't have to do this. It would be easier for me not to do this, I think. But again, I enjoy it, and I only do what I want to do, and I enjoy the outcome of it for other people to see. Because if it wasn't for channels like this, they wouldn't see basically reality of good and bad, and not a fictitious way, not some kind of over-the-top exaggerated, here I am, look at this and that, come do this is what it costs. I think my viewers want reality because they might want to come here and actually live here in reality and not in la la tourist land, But I don't care what anybody thinks about me. If you ever meet me, or if you know my friends, I don't give a shit. And if you bark at me, I'll bark back. It's all fun. We can have a good time, a good laugh. I'm an extreme anti-sensitive person. Well, Mom is doing good this morning. I got her an appointment for a spa treatment at the hotel. I hope she enjoys it. Just a relaxing massage with coconut oil. And we had breakfast together this morning. Mom's doing okay. It looks like a cool place, like a container front. Interesting. Well, I've decided to get a Bolt instead of taking my Fortuner because they're having some kind of wedding or something at the hotel and it's busy. I don't want to lose my excellent parking spot, so I'll just wait for Mr. Dolphin here, or no, BYD. I think that might be like some kind of like a Chinese electric car or something. little electric car. I'm here at the hospital already. All right, well, I thought my appointment was at 1, but apparently it's 1:30, and he's not going to be here till 2. So I'll just go walk around. Okay, this is what I'm going to ask about here, the PRP, platelet-rich plasma treatment, 3,000 baht. With that, 7,000. That's kind of what I need. I don't know. I'll ask him. All right, well, I just got a blood test. He just wants to check to see if I have rheumatoid, I don't know how to say it, arthritis, and gout. So I just had a blood test done. I'm waiting on the results. I'm in the hospital, so I don't want to talk about it too much, but that's, I have to wait another hour. So I decided to just come outside. It's too cold in the hospital. I've got about another 30 minutes or so to wait for the results to come back. I was kind of drilling him on some questions about the PRP and also stem cells. And it's pretty common for I think all doctors pretty much base all of the cures from taking medication. And it comes always down to where studies have shown blah, 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 blah. And there is no evidence that this supports this or this supports that. It's like talking to a politician, right? Still, even in Thailand. I think if you really, now let me back up. They do that treatment here, but this particular doctor doesn't know much about doing fingers. He basically, as far as PRP goes, right? So he did the injections with the cortisone shot. He didn't really want to do it at first. I'm not really sure what he wants to do, other than I know for a fact he wants to give me medication. So I asked him, I said, well, is there any evidence that supports taking medicine for long term is good for you? You know, but you know, again, what's the alternative? You got the problem, you're sick, you have arthritis, so you want to just keep the arthritis and keep it. There is medication you can take that has results that it eases pain or whatever. But as far as new stuff, he doesn't know. So I asked him about my spine, like my lower back. I said my father had that done to his lower back and it cured his back problem, but he's not a specialist on that, so he didn't have any information to give me. I'd have to see a different doctor here. They do it here. I just need to see a different doctor. And he just kept saying there's no evidence that the PRP will work in the finger joints. Knees, shoulder, stuff like that, yes, but not fingers. I guess not too many people attempt to do that with fingers. So I asked him about medication. I was like, okay, well, how do I know what medication is good for me, long-term effects, this or that? And he goes, well, I need to look at your history and this and that. And there was none really. And I don't really have a history of problems. All of this started happening not too long ago in my life. So he said, well, what about gout or this and that? I said, well, I had a blood test done a couple years ago and I had him check for gout. I didn't have him check for the arthritis. But it's some kind of condition, like a deficiency in your body that can cause arthritic pain in your joints. I haven't been tested for that. So he said, well, do you want to get tested for it so we can kind of decide which route we can go with the medication if you decide to take the medication? I said, okay, yeah, let's do that. I said, I don't think I have gout, but what do I know? And I didn't think I'd ever have arthritis. So we'll see what the results say here in just a moment. But I don't know, you know. I think if you want to get stem cell stuff, or you got to go see a specialist about it, somebody that knows, I think a lot of the hospitals' hands are tied on certain things, or if they don't know about it, you know, they want to, I don't know, at least he was being honest and said you need to talk to another physician and didn't act like, well, this is your only option. So. Okay, I'm glad I did the blood test and didn't make this little trip a whole waste of time. But this is an excellent hospital. I'll leave the link to it in the description box. You can look at it yourself. It is a private hospital, and it's actually one that I choose. I could go, there's a Bangkok hospital here too, but I choose this one for a few reasons. One, my only problem I have in my life is I have hypertension. And in this hospital has one of the best heart doctors in the area. So I feel like if I ever have a problem, it's going to be that, which I don't, because it's very slight hypertension and it's 100% under control with a low dose blood pressure medication pill. So the whole trip here was 800 baht, cost me 24 US dollars and 87 US cents for today's consultation, asking him 100 questions. And I didn't get any medication because I don't want any, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But I didn't do another x-ray because the x-ray is still on file. Last time I was here, I think it only cost me like $60 for the x-rays and everything else and the 2 cortisone shots. So it's part of the thing I'm talking about, how self-insure is easy to do in Thailand. It's just, I guess it's incomprehensible in the Western thought process that even can be possible, you know. But things just make sense financially here in Thailand. Let me get a cab coming or a Bolt, and I'll tell you what my results are in just a minute. Okay, rheumatoid arthritis is some kind of it's a disease, actually, an immunal disease that causes inflammation, causes arthritis. So I don't have that, period. I don't have it at all. And then he checked for gout also. So he said the gout was, he said I might possibly have, he said he doesn't even really want to say it because it's very, very slight, maybe like 10%, but he called it something, Suka gout, he suspects, or something. Anyway, he tried to give me some medication. Hang on, let me see what if I can find what it was. He tried to give me, hang on, colchicine, but I told him no. And the reason why is because gout comes about from eating too much, like poultry or drinking alcohol, stuff like that. I said, I didn't know I was coming for a blood test today, and I had about 3 beers last night, so I don't trust the results. So can I wait and come back at another appointment, and I'll do another blood test, and then I want to make 100% sure. So the problem, basically, I don't have any deficiency. It's just from working too hard. And hang on, let me see what the hell hang on. I gotta see what bolt I'm getting. Okay, Mitsubishi Pajero 9465. I don't see it. It says it's here. Oh, here it is, right here. Okay, hang on. Okay, I'm just on the computer back at the hotel room trying to read what this 6.1 result means. And I guess gout in medical terms is hyperuric hyperuricemia, which is, I guess, another word for gout. So it says that your target level of uric acid should be less than 6.0 milligram. So, for you to have gout, it would be higher than that. So I'm still taking that medication that I got from that clinic, and I had a couple beers last night, and I really don't want to give up chicken or beer, but I would. If I had gout, I would give it up like now. I would stop. So, but I don't think I do. So I want to wait until I'm done taking the medicine that I have. And then I got another appointment scheduled for like 3 months from now. And this time I'll study for it. I won't have a beer prior to getting a blood test. So, yeah, I think I'm okay. 6.1. I don't know if anybody here has gout. You could share what your readings, or somebody with high gout, what they have as far as their uric acid reading. Talked a lot today. I need to call Paige. Well, we're going to get back into another taxi and head to the mall. How was your massage?
The massage was absolutely wonderful.
It was here in the hotel too.
Yes, and I haven't had one in a while. Boy, am I going to be searching when I get back home.
600 baht?
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Yeah. Even got my head massaged. They said maybe she can fix my brain. She was very good.
Mom wants to eat at Sizzler since we're near a Sizzler.
Yeah, anytime we're near Sizzler, I got my steak sauce. I'm ready. Okay. Thank you, Daz. You told him to buy it for me. You paid for it, right?
Yeah.
But he brought it.
Your Heinz 57?
Yeah, Heinz 57.
Yeah. All right. Okay. It's an obstacle course, Mom.
Yeah.
You have to walk like you're a drunk person.
I know. That's the only way you can make it.
Well, I tell you what, that Grab, Bolt, Uber, all of those really have changed the dynamics in taxi and traveling, and just all together. Because 60 baht is cheap to go. You don't have to deal with the traffic. You don't have to deal with anything. It just makes traveling so much easier now.
Yeah.
Been eating a lot of salad here lately, which is good. I think the food here is always pretty good. Never a problem. Pretty popular place for Thai people.
Yeah. Good.
What you doing, Mom?
I was reading, it says no free samples.
Uh-oh.
No hand in a cookie jar.
They're distracted. They're making a mini Christmas tree.
Oh, they need probably just go sleep in there and get something. We're just not busy.
Well, it's the beginning of November. Hey, look, it's like got a star on top. Let's see here. It's not the star, it's the moon. Mom, did you get some KFC today over here?
No, I didn't, because I can get that at home. I can't get the Sizzler steak I love.
Get some Starbucks?
Yes, I didn't actually go to Starbucks. I got a latte.
Mom went to Starbucks while I was at the doctor's office.
Coconut cake.
Coconut cake?
Yeah, coconut cake with real coconut filling.
What do you think about this old hotel? It's okay, huh?
Very nice, very fancy. Yeah. And very, it's very nice.
Well, tomorrow we're gonna take Mom home. We got a little over, about a 4.5 hour drive tomorrow to NakhonPhanom. Still got my front row spot. It was so easy to take the Grab or the Bolt taxi today.
Yes.
I see my delivery came to my room. I gotta tell them which room to put it in. I got you one spy. Just like you said, you wanted one spy. I got you a case. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little series of us being on the road alone. Tomorrow we'll be with Paige, Mafia, and temporary kitty and cow gum. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.